Hey guys, and welcome back to Mad About Skin. In today's video, we're talking this skincare ingredient, hyaluronic acid. Now, I think it's fair to say that the hyaluronic acid craze that gripped the skincare community for the past 3 years has finally ended. In the past couple of months, you've started to see a lot of the hyaluronic acid fangirls start to question just how effective it really is. You've also seen a whole suite of other people sharing the negative side effects they got from incorporating hyaluronic acid into their routine and the benefits for their skin of excluding this ingredient altogether. I've definitely been on a bit of a journey with hyaluronic acid, and what I've learned is actually there are some just better alternatives on the market when it comes to hydrating and nourishing the skin. That's what I want to share with you in today's video, so everybody's informed and can make the right decisions for their own skin's needs. Sit back, relax, let's talk alternatives to hyaluronic acid. Now, before we get into this video, I would of course love to know your own experiences with this ingredient, so sound off in the comment section below. Would you never be without your hyaluronic acid serum, or like me, have you decided to start to minimise the amount that you see in your skincare routine? It's all about doing what works for you and your skin, so sound off and let me know your experiences. Whilst you're down there, don't forget to give this video a big thumbs up and a like. Remember, the more likes the video gets, the more widely YouTube will distribute it on its platform. And I really want everyone to hear this message, because whilst hyaluronic acid can work wonderfully in moderation for a lot of people, there are alternatives out there, and the more we know, the better decisions we can make for our skin. Now, with all that being said, shall we just cut that waffle and delve straight on in? Kicking things off with what is hyaluronic acid? Well, it's a humectant, which is a fancy way of saying it draws in and retains moisture within itself. This can be wonderful when it comes to benefits for the skin. First up, the more moisture it draws in, the plumper it becomes. That plumping action can temporarily minimise the appearance of fine lines and wrinkles in the skin, so using a hyaluronic acid can give a very immediate anti-aging effect. Also, reaching for a humectant to prevent transepidermal water loss is one of the best ways of tackling dehydration in the skin. Over time, the water in our skin is lost to the environment around us. By using a humectant which kind of draws in and acts like a magnet and clings onto that water, it just slows that rate down. So if you've got a very dry skin type, hyaluronic acid or other humectants could be a wonderful addition to your skincare routine. Certain humectants can even dial up the body's natural ability to produce natural moisturising factors such as urea, hyaluronic acid and other core components to kind of give a long-term benefit alongside the short-term gains. And I want to pick them all apart in today's video and share with you so you can make sure you're making the right decision when it comes to humectants and what your skin really needs. So when it comes to my own experiences with hyaluronic acid, I actually got some really great results. I think it does give you that instant plumping. It can make the skin appear less aged by minimising the appearance of fine lines and wrinkles, and it definitely does trap in and retain some of that moisture. So if you're going through a particularly dry patch in your skincare journey, I think a hyaluronic acid can help tackle that and alleviate in the short term. There aren't too many long-term benefits to hyaluronic acid. Some studies have shown if you use it consistently, it can over time help with skin elasticity, which of course is great because that firmness and elasticity, again, it can just help with any anti-aging skincare routine. There are a couple of studies that have shown, again, in the long term, it can, at the margins, improve overall skin hydration, but these benefits tend to stop once you stop incorporating this ingredient. So it's very much like the quick wins and the short-term gains that you get from hyaluronic acid, rather than those long-term benefits. For me, I found if I used too much hyaluronic acid, my skin kind of reacted to it. It became very irritated, and it also become much more breakout prone. This is definitely something that other people have shared, so this isn't unique just to me. And there are people out there that will tolerate hyaluronic acid in whatever concentration you put it on the skin, but others can be quite reactive to it, and so you need to bear that in mind. What works for you might not work for someone else, and vice versa. I think the issue with hyaluronic acid is because it is so cheap to formulate with, brands love to use it as like a bulking agent. They'll put it in just about every single product, and so you end up using hyaluronic acid on hyaluronic acid on hyaluronic acid, and by the end of your skincare routine, you've probably used 5 or 6 different steps with this ingredient in, and that's just overloading the skin. I like to mix and match the humectants that I use. They all have different benefits, and I think by exclusively reaching for hyaluronic acid, I think that we're missing the trick, and actually we could be getting increased benefits by kind of mixing and matching different humectants depending what our skin needs. That's kind of the purpose of today's video. I'm certainly not against hyaluronic acid, and a little of my skincare routine still does deliver for me, but I found that I've just got better benefits from other humectants, which are the ones I'm going to come onto now. So let's kick things off with Centella asiatica. Now this I think has overtaken hyaluronic hyaluronic acid in the popularity stakes. Very few people have heard of centella here in the West, say like 4 years ago, but now just about everyone wants to get their hands on it. The reverse has sort of happened with hyaluronic acid. The craze happened 3 years ago, and now people are starting to look and realise maybe it's just not right for them. For me, I think centella is streets ahead of hyaluronic acid because it delivers the exact same outcomes, plus a few additional benefits to boot, and is better tolerated by a wider range of skin types, so it's just much more applicable to everyone. So centella will definitely plump out the skin, so you get that immediate anti-aging benefit that a lot of people reach for hyaluronic acid for. Also calms and soothes, and in the long term will help with skin elasticity, so again matching the benefits of hyaluronic acid. Where I say you actually get enhanced benefits is because cica, centella asiatica, over time will actually increase the amount of collagen and elastin in the skin. This means you're getting long-term anti-aging benefits rather than just those short-term fixes. The more collagen we have in our skin, the tighter, the more elastic it appears, and again, the more shallow our fine lines and wrinkles will be. My top tip is always to pair your centella asiatica with vitamin C to double down, or in some cases quadruple, the amount of additional collagen produced, and I shared how to do that in a recent video which I'll link up there. But when you think that centella does the same things that you can get from hyaluronic acid, but it actually has some long-term anti-aging benefits, and some studies have even shown it can be really good for wound healing. I mean, it's amazing if you've got very acne-prone skin or a very active breakout. All told, I think that centella asiatica is streets ahead of hyaluronic acid, and I've left and linked some of my favourite centella serums in the description box below. Right, in at number 2 is glycerine. Now, I should have probably led with glycerine because I think this is one of the most effective humectants on the market. In fact, lots of studies have shown it's actually much more effective than hyaluronic acid when it comes to drawing in and retaining moisture within itself. Glycerine is equally as cheap to formulate with as hyaluronic acid, which means a lot of brands can use it in its place without having to increase the price of their products. This is hopefully something I think a lot of brands will be doing in the next couple of years as the hype around hyaluronic acid diminishes, and maybe glycerine, which is a bit of an unsung hero, gets the love that I think it deserves. So again, you're going to get the same benefits from glycerine that you will from hyaluronic acid, but some additional ones as well. So it'll help to plump out the skin for that immediate anti-aging benefit and prevents transepidermal water loss. But where glycerine is different is with the additional benefits you're going to see. First up, it's actually really great at breaking down the bonds which are holding the dead skin cells onto our gorgeous fresh skin beneath. So it has a very light exfoliation benefit, and will just kind of keep that cellular turnover in tip-top pace. You also get some great barrier and wound healing benefits from glycerine that you don't see from hyaluronic acid. Over time, if you use glycerine consistently in your skincare routine, it can help improve the barrier function of the skin to just promote overall skin health. Finally, glycerine has also been proven to reduce the amount of bacterial proliferation on the skin. That was a mouthful to say, but basically, if you've got breakouts or heavily congested skin, then glycerine can help at the margins to just reduce all that down. It's because glycerine is just streets ahead of hyaluronic acid that when I created my own serum, which is this, the Mad About Skin Got You Covered Super Serum, that I used glycerine as the humectant of choice. You get all those immediate anti-aging and plumping benefits, minimizing transepidermal water loss, but you get the barrier support and the minimizing of bacteria benefits in addition to what you would get if you just reach for hyaluronic acid. I've left some other great glycerine containing skincare serums in the description box so you can kind of shop the one that's right for you, but I think glycerine is streets ahead of hyaluronic acid and a really unsung hero. Finally, let's talk polyglutamic acid. Now, I think this is an emerging ingredient in skincare. There's quite a lot of popularity surrounding it, but I think it's growing in popularity rather than hyaluronic acid, which seems to be reducing in popularity. The reason that hyaluronic acid took off the way it did was one study showed that it could retain up to 1,000 times its own weight in moisture, and everyone's like, wow, this seems like game changing. Then polyglutamic acid came on the market, and someone did a study say, actually, this contains 5,000 times its own weight in moisture. I think all of these numbers that fly around, most of them are quite misleading. But I think what these studies do show is that polyglutamic acid is much better when it comes to reducing the appearance of fine lines and wrinkles, hydrating the skin, and preventing transepidermal water loss than hyaluronic acid ever will be. It's again got the same benefits you'll see with hyaluronic acid, but in an increased rate, and it's got some additional benefits too. Unfortunately, polyglutamic acid does come with a slightly higher formulation cost, so often brands that formulate with polyglutamic acid do have to put the price up just a little bit versus using hyaluronic acid, which is why I just don't think it's as popular. It's a shame because I think you get much more enhanced benefits from this humectant than you ever will from hyaluronic acid. So it's plumping, it minimises the fine lines and wrinkles and helps prevent transepidermal water loss. But where it differs from hyaluronic acid is polyglutamic acid actually goes into the skin and will help to increase the amount of natural moisturising factors present. That's things like lactic acid, urea, hyaluronic acid, all things that our body will naturally produce to keep it healthy and hydrated. Polyglutamic acid will actually increase and dial up the rate of that production. Hyaluronic acid doesn't. So hyaluronic acid is like a temporary fix. Polyglutamic acid I think has a lot more long-term benefits, and I'm always about that with skincare. We invest now for the benefits in the longer term. It's a marathon, not a sprint. So there you have it, guys, a rundown of some great alternatives to hyaluronic acid. Now, I don't want anyone to take away from this video that hyaluronic acid is terrible and you should immediately remove it from your skincare routine. I just want to get that conversation going and help people to realise there are other equally, or in some cases here effective humectants on the market that could mean you could get some enhanced benefits for your skincare routine and minimise the risk of irritation. If you love hyaluronic acid, I'm here to say just make sure you use it in the right way. I filmed a brief shorts video on how to use hyaluronic acid like a pro, and I'll leave a link to that up there. Definitely one to check out if you think hyaluronic acid is right for you. Just make sure you're using it to maximise the benefit, and that video is only 1 minute long, so it should give you everything you need to make the right call for your own skin. Wherever you are in the world, guys, stay safe, stay well, and love your skin. Take care. Bye.